was a great jazz guitarist. I taught for him for many years down in Jersey. He used to say the music is behind the notes. And I know what he means, because if you look at the tab of this solo, it'll tell you where to put your fingers, and it'll give you the timing and all that. But what it won't do is it won't get the subtleties of the sounds of what Chuck Berry's doing. And to do that, you have to have listened to it enough to have it in your ear. Mm-hmm. Now, you already have most of that in your ear from having listened to the song already and having heard it before and having worked on the first, two solos already. So that much is not really that bad for you here, but it's still a good idea to listen so that you know that you're doing it exactly the way he's doing it, or as close to exactly as you can. So now I want to talk about tab, and let me just see if I can grab let's see. Well, there's one handwritten tab that I wrote out for a student, and I'm going to show you what a handwritten tab looks like. You've seen this, right?
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Do you know what it means? Do you understand how it works?
No, I don't.
It's very simple, Andrew. If you look at this at first, it looks kind of like a staff.
Yeah.
But if you look more carefully, you will notice there are 6 lines, not 5. Typically, normal musical staff has 5 lines. This guy has 6. What do you think that means?
Strings.
Of course. So the numbers placed on the line are fret numbers.
Yeah.
So the 2 on this line means 2nd fret, and the only thing you have to remember is that the first string, the thinnest one, is the highest line, and the bass string is the lowest one. Mm-hmm. Now, once again, for a note reader like you and myself, that actually makes sense, because we're used to thinking of the low notes as down low on the staff and the high notes as up high. For somebody who doesn't read music, that makes no sense at all to them, because it's the opposite of what it actually looks like on the guitar. But I don't think that would be, that's very unlikely to cause too many problems for you. So, quite honestly, you might make a few mistakes with that for the first couple of weeks when you're working on tab, and then after that, it's like, oh, I got it. Okay? So, now when you look at tab, the thing that you're going to find is that different tabs, first of all, there are some notations that they will use in tab that you're not going to be familiar with from regular notes. Some tab will write the rhythms. I try to write the rhythms into the tabs that I write for my students. But you will see some tab that just looks like a string of numbers on the lines. The one that I grabbed here has, if you can see it, once again, you can see that it has the lines that indicate eighth notes and quarter notes and 16th notes. And those work exactly the same way as they work in regular music, so there's no mysteries there. Like I said, some tab doesn't include that, and that means you really have to work extra. You have to listen extra hard when you're working with the tab to make sure you play the rhythms correctly. But honestly, you would want to do that anyway. And the other thing two other things about tab. There are some notational symbols in tab that you won't have run across in written notes, because we don't tend to see string bends in classical guitar music or violin music. So a string bend is indicated with a little arrow attached to the number. And then they'll put a number above the arrow, and that will tell you how far to bend. So a 1/2 is a half-step bend, which is 1 fret. So say... That's a 1 fret bend. So that would be indicated with an arrow and a half. A full step bend would be written with a 1. A step and a half would be 1 1/2, and so on. And I see my next student's getting a little impatient, so